Dear learners, previously we have seen about surfactant. In that we saw surfactants are the surface active agents which behaves at the surfaces and interfaces, which are made up of polar head and non-polar tail. We have seen that the impact of polar head, non-polar tail and hydrocarbons, especially number of carbon atoms having influence over the capabilities of surfactant to undergo the process to reduce surface tension or interfacial tension. So based on this, the two basic moieties present in your surfactant molecule, that is hydrophilic moiety and lipophilic moiety, there should be balance between these two, which will have impact on their strength to work on surface tension or interfacial tension. These two moieties will help to reduce these two tensions and thereby facilitating either adsorption or miscibility of two phases which are separated from one another by means of the forces which are acting at their boundaries, or preferentially we will say that the repulsion because of the forces which are present at the surfaces or interfaces. So the balance between the size and strength of these hydrophilic and lipophilic moieties of surfactant molecule is given by one value known as hydrophilic lipophilic balance. This is the concept which is best known concept for selection of your surfactant in respect to suitability of its application. This concept was proposed in 1949 by the scientist Griffin, who developed a semi-empirical method which assigns a particular number to your surfactant according to its chemical structure. But though the number is based on its chemical structure, it is important that what kind of hydrophilic moieties and what proportion of lipophilic moieties that surfactant governs so as to have its various applications. In pharmaceutics, in dosage form development, you have studied that you are using various surfactant in order to prepare suspension or in order to prepare emulsion. The basic fact associated with both of them is you should select the material which is having or which is responsible to produce stability to the dosage form, and thereby the hydrophilic and lipophilic moieties finds their application to maintain stability which will ultimately enforce quality of your preparation. This HLB for the respective materials, if your material is ionic or if it is non-ionic, then the best on that when it comes about your surfactant which is originally applied to non-ionic surfactants, and right now it is used or its use has now been extended toward ionic surfactants. The HLB value for ionic surfactant is much higher, that is nearly up to 50 value based on their ionization properties. This HLB number ranges from 0 to 20, perhaps higher. The higher surfactant HLB value indicates the more hydrophilicity of that particular material, and the lower surfactant HLB value indicates lipophilicity of its material. The HLB scale. There are various experiments, there are numerical methods which have been used to develop to determine HLB number. These methods were initially developed for non-ionic surfactant, and it is used to describe the relationship between water soluble and oil soluble parts of non-ionic surfactant. So a complete hydrophilic group, that is it won't possess any non-polar group, has an HLB value of 20. For instance, if you are having a surfactant whose HLB value is equal to 1, then as I told you earlier, the lowest HLB value will be considered as lipophilic. So the one having HLB value equal to 1 is considered very oil soluble, whereas the one having HLB value near to 15 will be considered as the one who is water soluble. So preferentially, the HLB number also measures the percent ethoxylation of the respective surfactant. So based on the value of that surfactant, HLB value of that surfactant, you can classify them into three basic classes: hydrophobic, that are your oil soluble; water dispersible, which won't undergo solubilization but that will facilitate the process of dispersion; and the third one is your hydrophilic surfactant, which are supposed to be water soluble. So if you are dealing with the scale, HLB scale from 0 to 18, then you will find that there are one surfactant can serve major applications based on their HLB value. For example, for the surfactants HLB value between 3 to 6, you can use that as an emulsifying agent, which will give you W by O type of emulsion, because the lowest surfactant HLB value is indicative of its hydrophobic nature, that it facilitates your lipophilicity. So in the same way, if you need to go for O by W emulsion, so obviously that should have hydrophilicity, and the number of that HLB value 8 to 16 is indicative of that hydrophilicity whichever your surfactant bears. So the HLB number allows the ability of surfactant to stabilize either O by W emulsion or W by O emulsion. In the same way, based on the value of HLB, you can predict the type of the type of emulsion either as O by W emulsion or W by O emulsion. Now we will discuss about various methods for determination of HLB value. The first method is by Griffin in 1949, who develops the equation for the surfactant which are containing polyoxyethylene chain, that is your non-ionic surfactant. Griffin used the percent by weight of polyoxyethylene chain and percent by weight of polyhydric alcohol group so as to determine HLB value for that surfactant, and he gave a formula as HLB is equal to summation of weight of polyoxyethylene chain and weight of polyhydroalcoholic group with the ratio of 5. But these two values, that is percent by weight of polyoxyethylene chain and percent by weight of polyhydric alcohol group, are having limitations for polyoxyethylene chains. So this will not be applicable for other type of emulsion. Therefore, for the materials, for the most polyhydric alcohol fatty acid esters, those are not having polyoxyethylene chain within themselves. So this formula based on your polyoxyethylene chain percent by weight and polyhydric alcohol group percent by weight will find limitation. So for the sake of fatty acid esters, Griffin revised the formula based on saponification number and acid number. So the formula developed by Griffin for the material containing fatty acid esters is HLB is equal to 20 1 minus saponification number to the acid number, where S is the saponification number of the ester and A is the acid number of the acid. You are quite aware of these two terms, saponification number and acid number. So what you are saying that whatever amount of potassium hydroxide in milligram required to neutralize the fatty acid resulting upon complete hydrolysis of 1 gram of fat. That is, if you are saying that the ester in your sample undergoes complete hydrolysis, so as to neutralize that fatty acid, whatever number of bases, milligram of bases required, that will give you saponification number. Whereas the same bases required to neutralize 1 gram of chemical substance is considered as acid number. So Griffin devised the value of HLB based on the two formulas. First, the one on the basis of polyoxyethylene chain, and the second one is on the basis of polyhydroalcohol fatty acid esters. The next method by scientists is Davis method. In 1959, he suggested a method based on calculating a value on the chemical groups of the molecule. That is, if you are splitting the groups of molecules, then obviously you are splitting them into hydrophilic groups and lipophilic groups. So based on the number of groups, whether hydrophilic groups or lipophilic groups, David suggested that you can assign number to that surfactant which will be indicative of its hydrophilic lipophilic balance, and he suggested a formula which includes summation of number of hydrophilic groups, summation of number of lipophilic groups. So David developed a formula which subtract number of lipophilic groups from the number of hydrophilic groups. So the two formulas which are useful given by Griffin and given by Davies to determine HLB value finds their application to give you the number which suggests suitability or application of your surfactant to be used in the development of any dosage form. Though it is very useful, but the HLB method has several shortcomings. The first shortcoming is, as a unique value is assigned for each surfactant, as we have seen in case of HLB scale, that we are assigning a particular value to that surfactant, but in the same way there are two things which are neglected. The first one is, this HLB value does not take consideration of parameter such as polar head hydration and hydrocarbon chain unsaturation. So the first shortcoming is associated with the non-consideration of parameter which are associated with polar head and hydrocarbon chain. The hydrocarbon chain lies within your tail. That's why the makeup of your surfactant, head and tail, polar head and non-polar tail, the two parameters associated with these two, hydration and unsaturation, are not considered. That's why you can't say that the HLB value given by Griffin and Davies are the effective HLB values. And so as to have this one, so as to nullify these shortcomings, the term has been coined as required HLB value. So what is that required HLB value is? If you need to estimate the required HLB value for emulsion, we are saying that a stable emulsion prepared with the same aqueous and oily phase, but by the means of use of various different surfactants which are having the HLB value within their ranges. So this required HLB value will correspond to the maximum stability of the emulsion, which is nothing but the HLB of your surfactant, or you can have mixture of surfactant which are responsible to produce stability for a given system. In the same way, the second thing which is neglected during the calculation is phase inversion temperature. So the effect of temperature is completely ignored when you are dealing with determination of HLB value. Therefore, in addition to HLB method, you need to further optimize the phase inversion temperature, which is favoring below the phase inversion temperature, that is below your normal temperature, will favor stability of O by W emulsion, whereas where W by O emulsion are obtained above this phase inversion temperature. As in the case of emulsions, you have studied the phase inversion temperature, which is utilized to change the hydration or solubility of non-ionic surfactant. So the hydration and solubility of non-ionic surfactant tends to undergo change with change in temperature, and this phase inversion temperature is responsible to convert your O by W into W by O or vice versa. So the surfactant which gets more lipophilic with increase in temperature. So here in this method, a mixture of oil, water and surfactants are prepared at their PIT, and by using this one, by having this mixture of oil, water and surfactant at phase inversion temperature, you can correct or you can rectify the shortcoming in your HLB value. So this was about HLB value, which indicates the suitability of surfactant for respective operations in your dosage form development. Thank you.